All right, let's jump into some of your questions here on the 49ers Report. Dylan says, I know it's early, but Zach Wilson from BYU looks pretty good to me. I'm still a Jimmy believer, but do you think a battle at quarterback position is a good idea next year? Wow, it's a tough question right now. It all depends on what Kyle Shanahan thinks. If Shanahan believes in Jimmy Garoppolo, then you do not take a quarterback in the first round because you'll have other holes, whether it's pass rusher, whether it's cornerback, possibly even wide receiver, if you don't believe in Brandon Ayuk or Deebo Samuel. So it really depends on what Shanahan thinks. I am not very high on drafting a quarterback in the first round next year, but if I did, I would take a long, hard look at Trey Lance to get the dual threat ability that Kyle Shanahan has basically never had in the history of him being an offensive coordinator or a head coach. We've seen what Kyle Shanahan can do with kind of the traditional pocket passer with a little bit of mobility. What about a quarterback with a ton of mobility? Trey Lance is sitting out this year at North Dakota State. That's going to hurt his draft stock. Maybe he falls into the second round. This is a guy who threw like 46 combined touchdowns last year and 0 interceptions. He's the real deal. I like Zach Wilson. I want to see a little bit more of him as BYU, enters in the top 10 territory in the college football playoff. But I do think it's a little early right now to be predicting a first-round quarterback. But we talked about this a couple days ago. It's not impossible. There are rumors already buzzing in that category. Chrono asks, what do you think is our biggest weakness? It's pass rusher, which is tough because it shouldn't be. If Nick Bosa was in there, it obviously wouldn't be. I mean, it'd be part of the strength of the 49ers. It shows just how important Nick Bosa and a star pass rusher is on every single team in the National Football League. Your second biggest weakness is definitely cornerback. You'd like to see Jason Verrett, Emmanuel Mosley, even a Killer Witherspoon even play slightly better would be an improvement. But right now, I mean, you talk about Devontae Adams just abusing those guys. Aaron Rodgers balled out just a couple of weeks ago, and so that's probably the secondary. Offense, to me, when you get Mostert back, it's fine. I mean, you quarterback, maybe say wide receiver, but if both groups were healthy, we wouldn't have this problem. But both groups are not healthy, and so with that being said, like I said, pass rusher and cornerback. Heath says, yes, and the answer to this question that I've been reading is yes. Is Fred Warner? Whenever you say is Fred Warner, you just stop right there and say yes. I'll finish it. Though the best player on the team, including injured players, he might be. And I mean, that's not a hot take. I think Mostert's very, 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 very good. I think Nick Bosa could be the best player on the football team. But I think Fred Warner, I mean, just the fact he's been available this entire year has been massive. He's finally getting the respect that he deserves. Chris Collinsworth on Sunday Night Football a couple weeks ago was singing his praises. And a lot of players on the other opposing sidelines are singing the praises of Fred Warner as well. So if he's not the best, he's second or third best, but he's easily top 3. I mean, the kid's a baller and going to be the best in the league here very, very shortly. Britt says, should the 49ers draft a center in the first round of the NFL draft? No, I wouldn't go center. That's tough. For me, if you want to get an offensive lineman, you got to get one early. If you want an offensive lineman to make an instant impact, it's early. If not, just get one later on in the draft. Let him sit for a year. Let him learn. Let him be a swing tackle. Let him be a practice squad guy, whatever it is. And then eventually he's going to figure it out and be good in year 2 or year 3. I'd rather go pass rusher here. I'd rather go cornerback here, especially since the Niners will be picking between probably 14 and 21 based on what their record is right now and looking at the rest of the National Football League. Now, we do a ton of draft coverage, which I know it's really early, so me telling you to subscribe for draft coverage is a little bit weird just because the draft is like months away. But still, our lead up to draft coverage is fantastic. Also, I mean, our coverage right now during the year is great too. That's why you're watching this video. So go ahead and subscribe. Maybe you did brand new. A lot of people are saying, Thomas, I'm already subbed. I get that, but there are new people out there. Make room for them. Come on in, sit down, pull up a chair. Wear your 49ers mask. We talk about those a lot here on the 49ers Report. Hit the notification bell as well. That way you guys are notified whenever we jump on here with our live Q&As. Roddy has a question that I keep getting DM'd to me on Twitter, which is a little plug here. Follow me on Twitter, at Real Thomas Mott. You see it right there. Roddy says, Matt Ryan or Darnold? I would say neither. I don't want either of them. And the easier one to get on your football team is Sam Darnold because the Jets look like they're geared up to be the first overall pick in the NFL draft, meaning they're going to take Trevor Lawrence. That seems locked in. More than likely, a team will trade for Sam Darnold this offseason, so he'd be a lot cheaper. Matt Ryan is a better quarterback, and I think him and Kyle Shanahan could make some magic together, but Matt Ryan costs too much and is way too big of a dead cap hit for Atlanta. Atlanta will have a very hard time trading for Matt Ryan unless somebody offers them the moon. And if I'm San Francisco, I wouldn't even look at it. I'd rather have Darnold if I have to pick, but I'd rather draft a quarterback if you really wanted to make you pick between both of these players. Excuse me. Kristen says, will the defense to stop Alvin Kamara? I believe Fred Warner can, and that's going to be your matchup to watch on Sunday when the Niners are on defense. This is not a Saints team that throws over the top. They were able to do it against the Bucs on Sunday Night Football, but it's not something that they've done a lot during the year. I mean, Drew Brees leads the league in shortest passes, behind the line of scrimmage and less than 10 yards out of any quarterback with like 100 throws or whatever it is in the NFL. So it's Kamara, but the problem is this is not a bad thing. Kamara is fantastic. I mean, he's dominating, probably the best running back in the league this year with McCaffrey being out. So can the defense slow him down? I don't know, but I would trust Fred Warner one-on-one, and probably one of the few linebackers I would trust one-on-one with Alvin Kamara any day of the week. Ricky says, do you think we can beat New Orleans? I do. I think that the New Orleans game last week against the Bucs was a little bit of a fluke. People want to rail the Bucs and say, oh, wow, fool's gold, they're trash. Like, this is a terrible football team. Not the case. They kind of got blitzed early. I mean, it was like 21-0 before you knew it. And then, Brady started forcing footballs because he was losing, and they crumbled, as we all saw on national TV. The line right now, again, is very easily in favor of the Saints as you see it right now. The line being 9.5. I think that can come down a little bit, especially if Sherman plays and Deebo Samuel play. Again, big if. Talked about that earlier on in this video. I think that they can win, but I'm not going to sit here and guarantee a win, but I would feel pretty good just because I think Kyle Shanahan is ready to rock, and they did a good job of holding Drew Brees and the Saints to a limited number of points in that shootout that they had in New Orleans last year. I am feeling good about covering the spread. How about that? I mean, I don't know about winning outright, but covering the spread, I think it'd be a good bet this week, and you can do it with our friends at BetUS. Use that promo code Niners125 to get a 125% deposit bonus whenever you first sign up. So you put $100 down, use our promo code Niners125. You heard me say this, right? And then it turns into $225 for your betting pleasure. And as I said, I don't know if I'm taking the Niners outright, but if you want the Niners to cover the spread, this might be the bet for you. And if, let's just say, you're a little hesitant because you don't want to gamble your own money. We're in a pandemic, Thomas, and I got other bills to go ahead and pay. All right, well, how about this? If the Niners don't cover the spread, I'll pay your losses. I'll pay your losses right there, up to $50 via Venmo. So here's what you do. Put your $100 down, chessports.com/49bet. Use the promo code Niners125. And let's say you want to bet anything less than $50 on the Niners to cover, $40, $35, whatever it is. Let us know that you did that at the email. So email you see on your screen, 49ers@chatsports.com. Let us know that you made that bet. And if the 49ers do not cover and you bet less than $50, we will Venmo you your losses. And of course, if they do cover, then we don't pay you anything because you guys are going to make a lot of money anyway. It's a win-win. It's a win-win here. Trust me on this one. If you haven't tried out BetUS, try it right here. You can email us your bet, 49ers@chatsports.com. Anything less than $50, we'll cover it on Venmo if the Niners do not cover the spread. Next question here comes from Corey, who says, do you actually think Mullens has what it takes to beat the Saints? I mean, yes, I guess. Like, what do you want me to say? I mean, he's the only option. Beathard definitely doesn't have the best chance at beating the Saints. I would like to have Jimmy Garoppolo in there. Jimmy Garoppolo has a much better chance to beat the Saints. But guess what? Garoppolo's not coming back anytime soon. So he better. I mean, in Nick Mullens we trust, I guess. People were telling me weeks ago that Mullens was better than Jimmy Garoppolo. Well, I guess we're going to find out right now, right? You got to put your money where your mouth is. As they say, got to be confident. I wish they had Jimmy Garoppolo for this football game. I really, really do. Although out of all the injured San Francisco 49ers right now, who do you miss the most? This is a good question. I mean, Bosa, Sherman, Samuel's been out for a while. His offensive lineman, Mostert. I mean, Mostert would be too. I don't know. I think I'd rather have Jimmy G. A healthy Jimmy G needs a lot more confidence than a healthy Nick Mullens based on what we've seen over the past couple of weeks. But that's just me because there are a lot of Nick Mullens apologists out there, and I'm not one of them. So, do what you do. If he wins, great. I'm all here for it. I don't know if it's actually going to happen. There's David Vilma. David Vielma, one of my favorites here at the 49ers Report, always giving us a great question. Super chat here. David says, love you, Mott. Love you too. Appreciate it. Honest assessment of the rest of the season. Fan for 41 years. I can take it. My honest assessment is that they get to 9 wins. We're at 4-5 right now. They're going to win 5 games because I think you're guaranteed to beat the Cowboys. You're guaranteed to beat Washington. And then it's a matter of beating the Saints or beating the Seahawks, beating Buffalo. I mean, it's doable. Now, is 9 wins going to be enough? It's not a guarantee. I mentioned earlier it might be enough, but Chicago is looming there. The Rams are looming there. The Cardinals are looming there. So I would say if I was betting money on it, they win 8 or 9 games and miss the postseason. But if I was betting with my heart and not my head, I'd say they get to 9 wins and they squeak in as a 7th seed. Don't know if they win that game, 7-1, Saints, Seahawks, whatever it is, Bucs. But an honest assessment is I think they're going to get really darn close. What do you think? Are they going to make the postseason? Type Y down below for yes, type N down below for no. Because guess what? We're in that time. And thankfully, the Niners are relevant in this factor, but it barely just. I mean, if they lose on Sunday, 4-6, the leeway is very slim, and it could be getting ugly very, very quickly. But I'm curious what you guys think. Down below in the comment section. Will they make the postseason? Type Y down below for yes. Type N down below for no. Kyle with a super chat. What are your thoughts on Dee Ford and his chances of returning? They've not given us an update anytime recently on Dee Ford and that back injury, which, of course, he suffered. When did he suffer? It feels like it was months ago, but it wasn't that far ago. He's on IR right now. What they would have to do first is designate him to return, put him back on the 21-day practice window, and they haven't done that, which tells you that they're not 21 days closer to Dee Ford being ready to go. If Dee Ford was ready to go after the bye week, he would have been activated today. 21-day roster, and he wasn't. So this is something that is going to take some time. And honestly, I'd be surprised if Ford plays again this year. And if he doesn't, he's a free agent after this year, and the 49ers will for sure let him go. So he couldn't have seen the last time of Dee Ford being in a Niner uniform. Is this Tartt's final year in San Francisco? It could be. The injury's not helping. The play on the field is not helping. It's a decently strong safety draft class, and the Niners could look there in the second round, maybe even in the first round. They stayed away this year because, of course, they liked Tartt and they liked Ward. I'm not going to say for sure, but I think that there possibly is a chance. Corey's got a question here. What is the status of Jimmy G? Is he staying on or going? Why is the coach putting any info out about him staying or going? Well, it's just too early. I mean, you can't just saying that you weren't going to keep Jimmy Garoppolo right now would do nothing for their season. This is something that they're going to probably discuss in the offseason because they're hoping Jimmy Garoppolo comes back this year and at least plays in week 16 or 17 and then hopefully in the wildcard round of the postseason. So it's just too early. I mean, is he going to come back next year? I don't know. I think he is, but a lot of people don't. And a lot of people with more knowledge than I do don't think he is. So you take that what you will with a grain of salt. But as we say in the rumor world, let's sit back, wait and see. But obviously they're not going to announce that anytime soon. Wait for it to happen in the offseason.